Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. So it is an Amazon Associates business created in June of 2015 in the home niche. The average monthly revenue for the business is $3,282 and makes an average of $3,174 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are primary domain and all site content and files, secondary domain and all site content and files, and a social media account, which is a Pinterest account. So for everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for a listing 58474 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So that's a brief overview of the business for sale. Let's hear from the seller with me today. So welcome to the show, Vernon. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm looking forward to learning more about you and your business. So to start us off, can you tell us a bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Sure. I've been in the mainly product review website business since 2013. We own hundreds of websites, although the number of actual money sites that we have is probably around a dozen now. This business is one of our earlier niches that we got into. We tend to focus mostly on high-tech kind of products, and this is one of those types of niches. It's done very well for us. It continues to do well, but we need to raise some capital to put into another niche that we're chasing. So that's why we're in the business of selling it.
Got it. That answers my next question. So you are selling in order to fund another venture.
Another niche that is taken off and needs a lot more content. We need to put the money down to do that. So, yeah.
Yep, makes sense. You created this business in 2015. It's been several years. So what did you learn from building this business that just seemed to work?
Well, one of the things that works in this space is to make sure that you spend a lot of time understanding how the users use the product, how the customers use the product, and focusing guides and reviews around practical reasons why someone one product versus another. So giving advice. Once we started really focusing on differentiating products and giving advice and basically picking the right product for the right application, the business took off. Clearly, Google liked the content, and the conversion rates have been fairly high for this business since we did that. So we've tailored our writing to be very good at that. So that's definitely worked well. This business does not require a lot of link building or anything like that. It's truly about knowing the products, knowing the users, and just giving good advice.
Nice. I like that. That's definitely seems like a philosophy to build a high quality site, one that starts with the users, which, I mean, there's always, I guess, the pressure to write for algorithms, which can lead to being disconnected from that user base. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, exactly. It's really important to think about what the person's using the product for, not so much what the keywords tell you to go.
Right. So was there anything you tried with this business that didn't work out so well?
Yeah, we thought link building was critical, as everybody else did, especially 5 years ago, and spent some money trying to build links in 2015, 2016. Did absolutely nothing. Turned back around and started writing better content, and it worked. That's what really mattered. And it was a big lesson learned for us. There are some products in the site that are relatively new. And so we also learned that you don't necessarily want to chase the older products. You want to chase the newer products coming into this space, because that's really where a lot of the consumer attention's focus is, on the newer products. So we spend more time now looking for new emerging products, even if keywords aren't big, but knowing that those look like a pretty good bet, that's what we'll start writing about right away. So this is very much a content business, and you don't really need to worry about too much else, Yeah, so I think link building, we learned, is not a great thing. And also trying to chase too many keywords for the sake of traffic was definitely not the way to go with this.
That is something I haven't heard very often, is not chasing volume of keywords and more so focusing on, I guess you're implying that the focus is then on the quality of the content that you're writing.
No, honestly, we don't think a whole lot about traffic for this niche. It's more about helping people make decisions, picking the right product for the right application. And the keywords are often very small that we chase, but they're super high converting. And they're all not competitive. That's what's great about this particular niche is the average order size is quite large, and you don't need a lot of traffic to make good money. And it's also an expanding niche. So there are lots of new vendors coming in who all pay affiliate. And so there's a lot of opportunity in the top end to, just keep chasing all the new products.
Nice. This business has been around for a little bit, so it's probably well into a maintenance phase if you want it to be that way. Can you describe the amount and the type of work you do on this business for maintenance?
Well, right now we're in a mode where the past couple of years, in fact, where it's really just an end of the year kind of update of our best performing buying guides and reviews, as well as publishing some new reviews for newer products that seem to be getting some attention. So we usually do that in the fall because this is a seasonal business which peaks in late spring to summer. So we'll publish content in the fall on new products and update our guides. And that's pretty much all we do, other than, the typical keep the websites running and make sure the plugins aren't screwed up, that kind of thing. But it's a very, very simple business, this niche in particular. Once you do your content right, it just works, So I think I spend maybe 3 hours a week total, just most of it's monitoring and checking, affiliate clicks and making sure the products are still in stock, that kind of thing. But it's very minor stuff. And I think 3 hours a week is probably stretching it. The bulk of the work comes after the summer when you start reassessing the new product mix you want to focus on for the next spring. Yeah.
Got it. So if you were to keep the business, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
A lot of what we do is keep doing what we're doing, which is chasing the new expensive products that keep coming on Amazon. And I would also probably expand out to newer affiliate accounts outside of Amazon. They're just, the vendors in this niche are just now starting to do share a sale, that kind of thing. Anybody in this business knows you can make quite a bit more money when you go to that. We just haven't even gone there yet with this space because most of it still is Amazon. The second thing is advertising. We tried a couple of times, just tested it, and then we didn't like what it was doing with the performance of the site, which we like to keep things very clean. And we're not really good at advertising anyway. We own 99% an affiliate-based business. So I kind of just pulled the team away and said, turn off the ads. But we know that the RPMs are quite high in this space. We just never took it far enough. So I think there's another bit of revenue for people who want to do that. And the last thing would be to, focus a little bit more on international. Australia's been picking up during the winter months for us. It's now running about 10% of sales. So I think there's some more you can do. There are products that are made that are unique to that market. So I think a little more attention there would help as well. Oh, the last thing is interesting. One of our competitors sells information products. I think he sells about $75,000 a year in guides on how to maintain and operate the kinds of products that we promote. So that was another thing that's been on my bucket list for a couple of years that we just never got around to doing. So that's another opportunity is to become more of a paid expert, consultative. So those are the things that top of mind anyway that we had on the chart to do, but never got around to it.
Sure. Well, it seems like there are a lot of strong opportunities for the business. So what do you think then are the biggest risks with this business or business model that a buyer should be aware of?
Well, this is a classic buying guide product review business in a relatively narrow niche. So I definitely think that the revenue is very concentrated in Amazon, which is a risk. And I'm sure anyone looking at this understands that. You can only do so much until the industry opens up and does more with other affiliate programs. So that's one to watch. The traffic is also almost all organic. I think there's probably a lot more you could do in Pinterest. We have a Pinterest account. The issue I think that we need to work on is how much traffic really is there in this niche there. Reddit would be another one that probably would benefit, exploiting that. We never even tried, but I've seen the traffic there. Maybe straying a little bit from the topic here.
Yeah. So it sounds like, all organic, yes. If you're in online business or in this business model, then you're working with the Google algorithm pretty much. And I think that's something that anybody who, with experience, who was interested in this business, they would understand that. So,
right. And one of the ways we've mitigated that is this package includes 2 websites. So one of the ways we mitigate this is when we're successful in a niche, we will go ahead and launch another site in the same niche so that Google can be very weird about what they penalize, So we try not to make it too much alike. For example, one of these sites, the brand is much broader than the original site. So we're kind of leapfrogging. We're going from the smaller niche that performs very well to set up another site with that initial niche on it and then expand to more shoulder categories. There's a lot of growth, and I didn't mention that, but there's a lot of growth in this business from that point of view too. The newer site has a much broader brand that can be expanded into many more categories. We were planning to do that, but again, we're trying to get some cash to do something else. So,
yeah, makes sense. All right. So some final housekeeping questions. How much support are you willing to offer buyers?
Well, usually it only takes about 30 days to transfer, sites like this. It's not a lot of complexity here. But I like to pride myself on always sticking with a buyer until they're happy and they've got everything they need. That's my commitment, always is.
Nice. Sounds good. And would you commit to a non-compete on this niche?
Yes, we're exiting this niche completely, and yeah, we're committed to that.
Okay, great. And are you open to something like an earnout?
This is not a huge business, but yeah, we're open to any kind of proposals if they're reasonable. We'd rather be all cash, but yeah, sure.
Sounds good. All right, and last two questions. Putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Well, the number one reason is that the niche that we're in is continuing to grow over time as new technology is injected into this industry. New products are coming on, lots of new vendors are coming online, and if you look at the Google trends on this, you'll see a very stark growth still ahead. And so to grow this business is a lot of it's just keeping up with the growth in the industry and then riding that organic growth naturally. And so it's a fun business to get into because the products are very interesting and the people who buy them really do need some advice. There's a good feeling about helping people and you get a lot of comments, et cetera, in this space.
Nice. That is very cool. It feels a little bit different, this website. And last question, is there anything you'd like to add that you think I might have missed during the interview?
I don't think so. No, at the level we're talking, it sounds like we're covering the business.
Yeah. Any interested buyers can, of course, unlock the listing and learn more about it. But I think we did cover a lot of great details here. So I think this is the perfect spot to wrap this up. So Vernon, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining us on today's episode. And I hope your business is purchased in the near future and by the right buyer.
Well, I do too. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 58474. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.